coming to you from a different set. It's a new season of Journey Through 30, and yes, I'm going to do more videos because why? Because I felt led to do it, you know? And for me, this season is definitely all new. For me, it's challenging. It's going to be faith building. It's going to be hotter because I'm in a new location. Yes, if you haven't seen my post on this week, I moved to Florida and it's a new experience for me. And I'm so excited to share with you my testimony. And I will get to that in a second. But if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel or my Facebook page, Journey Through 30, make sure you do that by clicking subscribe and hitting the like button on this video so you can see more inspirational content to help you get through your 30s as I'm getting through mine, because this is definitely a journey. So let's take it back all the way to 2018. I know we're well into August 2019, but the desire to move and get out of Chicago, where I always grew up, has started just about a year ago. I was in a place spiritually, mentally, physically, everythingly, just dissatisfied. I wanted to get a change. I wanted to get a change of situation. I wanted to get a change of atmosphere. I wanted to change work. I wanted to change everything. And I didn't know that things were going to happen the way that they did. And that's just how God moves. So let's fast forward to December 2018. I'm just minding my own business, and out of nowhere, I get a layoff from my last job. Now, mind you, I've been saying pretty much around that time that this year, aka 2018, was going to be my last year working for this organization. And little did I know that it was going to happen, not on my terms, because I was speaking it and claiming it and putting it out there, but I didn't know it was going to happen the way that it did. So I got laid off, and it was a bummer, and it was definitely a shakeup and unexpected in a way that I didn't understand. But I realized that it was a catalyst for change that I needed for me to go to where I was asking God to take me. I've been begging Him, pleading, writing in my journal, praying for months for a change in my life. And I felt like a desire for change was coming out of me. Like I just wanted it, you know, and I've been praying for it. And a good portion of the things that kept me in Chicago were starting to unravel. And I started to realize, like, life is short. I don't have to necessarily live in Chicago. I don't necessarily have to live in the United States. I don't have to live in this side of the world, etc. to live. Sometimes the places that you grow up become your comfort zone. And that's what Chicago became for me. I had community there. I had people there that loved me and wanted the best for me. I had certain opportunities. I had some opportunities that didn't work out. That's pretty much everywhere with life, right? But going somewhere new, somewhere different, somewhere outside of my comfort zone, outside of my time zone, was totally different and not expecting. So Florida grew on me. I even told them at my last job, like, okay, well, it's okay that you're laying me off because I was considering moving to Florida anyway. My mom lives here. And so I wanted to give it a shot to try living somewhere else and working somewhere else. So I didn't cry when I got laid off. I mean, getting a layoff is a very devastating situation, especially around the time where it's like the holidays, you got Christmas and New Year's and all that. You want to give gifts to your family. You want to like be able to pay your bills because the first of the month don't care that you laid off, okay? But student loans, they don't care either. But it was just a lot going on. But I just felt like I couldn't be sad. I couldn't be depressed. I wasn't feeling any of those negative feelings. I had a lot of just calm and peace, surprise, low-key taken aback. But I wasn't sad or depressed. Now, mind you, this wasn't the easiest thing for me emotionally throughout the last several months, okay? But the first couple weeks, I was just like, I can't believe that happened, but I'm okay. That was the weird thing about it. And one of my friends, one of my brothers in Christ, just reminded me, like, God gave me a gift of peace to keep me sane during that time, especially when it first happened, because unfortunately a lot of people put their identity and their everything into what they do for work in their career. I'm not one of those people. I like what I do, and I do multiple things, and I believe that the works of my hands are going to bring me before great men according to God's word. So I'm not really pressed about what I do with my career. It has its ebbs and flows, but I'm happy with where I am now, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So I just had God's peace throughout this situation. And there were times where I was like, okay, I'm going to take this time to rest. My family told me, enjoy yourself. Take your time to rest. You got unemployment, you got severance, you got a little severance check coming in. So I'm going to relax. And then January comes, I'm applying for jobs. I'm looking in Florida. I'm looking in Chicago. I'm still not really sure what I'm going to do. And then I go on vacation, because I already had booked it. I go on vacation with my friends in March, and we go to Florida. And prior to that, I secured an interview for a job in Florida, in the very city that my mom used to live in. What? I'm like, okay, God, like 3 months, almost 3 months unemployed, and you got me going on an interview. Like, I had pretty much an interview 3 months to the day that I got laid off. I was like, this guy right here, I'm gonna get employed. I'm gonna get double the pay from my last job. I'm gonna get all these benefits. I'm gonna get all this stuff. I was so happy. I got a new outfit while I was out there. So after the cruise, I got a new outfit, got ready for this interview. Went to the local library, printed out all the materials, all the receipts, because I was ready, honey, for these interviews. I'm like, you're gonna get everything I got. Like, here's my resume, my cover letter, my work samples. You get everything. And I waited, got the interview, waited some more, and then I didn't get the job. That was a bigger blow to me than getting laid off. I can honestly say that, because I was like, I felt like, God, this was it. You let me wait like 3 months. Okay, cool. I learned my lesson. Woo, woo, woo. All right, you got me through this season. Yay. I didn't get the job. So I'm back to square one, applying for jobs again, working somewhat part-time for a friend of mine for her business, trying to go back and forth mentally, like, am I going to go into full-time entrepreneurship? Like, what am I going to do? Like, in the meantime, I have these other creative endeavors that I feel led to pursue. So not only in January did I publish the Bliss for Singles 7th Anniversary Commemorative Edition magazine, which is available, by the way, blissforsingles.com. I also put together an ebook for the ladies, my dear sisters and friends in Chicago, called How to Date Yourself, or Dare to Date Yourself, and that came out in July. But it was just a number of things that I was putting my hands to. I was busy. Outside of sitting down on the couch watching Netflix and YouTube, I was busy helping other people with their stuff, with their businesses, putting my stuff together for my Etsy business. As you can see behind me, these frames are not something you can get at Ross, okay? These are frames that I made. It's on Etsy.com. Okay, I put the link in the description. But I made sure that I was doing something positive and productive while I was in my waiting, hoping and praying and applying. And so I had, like I said before, ebbs and flows emotionally. Like, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know like how I felt one week, and then another week I had a lot of faith. Another week I didn't have as much faith as the last week. And there would be so many prophetic words and words of encouragement for my family, my friends, my church family, that would really just press into me, and I would write those things down. And in May, there was a crusade basically at FCC in Munster, Indiana. They were saying, bring your resumes to the altar. We're going to pray over them for you to get a new job. Miracles going to happen and take forth in May. I'm like, okay, cool. Let me go in faith. Lay my resume in the hands of the pastor, Steve Muncie. And I was like, this is my month. It's going to happen. This is the month I get hired. Then I go to Florida and see about my mom for her birthday, because she asked me to come over for her birthday. And I had an interview for a job there. I'm like, God, like every time I visit Florida, I have an opportunity for an interview. I'm like, surely this must be the job. So it was at a university that I liked, and I wanted to go there and interview with them, and I did, and it went well. I was like, I felt confident coming out of the interview, like I killed it. You know what I'm saying? Haven't heard from them to this day. I haven't heard from them. Strange. These universities gotta get their hiring stuff together, because this is unacceptable. Nevertheless, I was still in the state of waiting, and I felt like I was just in the cycle again, but I wasn't as devastated as I was the first time I had an in-person interview. So I was like, okay, cool. Well, now that I'm here in Florida with my mom, let me see how life is living here. I spent about a week here, and I took my mom to Miami for her birthday as a treat to her. And I really realized that, yeah, I need to just go ahead and make that leap of faith and move. And that is a challenge that not everybody's willing to accept, especially when you don't know everything that's going to happen. I'm one of those people who likes to know all the details, but you're not going to know everything. You're not going to know all the details. God's not going to give you every step that happens. You just have to take that one step and do what you need to do. So in early June, late May, it really confirmed for me that, yeah, I just need to go ahead and move. Because if I get another in-person interview, I can afford to be flying back and forth to make that happen for a job that may or may not happen. You know what I mean? So for me, I wanted to move at the end of June, but one thing after another didn't work out. And then my family really needed me to be there for them in July. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna leave at the end of July. July 30th, the 31st, whatever that last week, I'm out of Chicago. I didn't want to have any going away party because I didn't want to plan a party and spend money I don't have that I could be using to move. I had to really put everything together. And besides, I live in Chicago. That's my first home. That's where all my people are. I'll see y'all soon, okay? Relax. So for me, I just wanted to have something simple. I just pack up my stuff and go, okay? That's another video in itself, how to move cross country, and I will share that soon because that video is definitely informational if you ever move outside of the state and move across the country or long distance, period. So I decided to stay with my family and make it work and stay in July and do what I had to do for them, and things start to fall together into place. So July 1st, I remember one of my friends in the faith, Jamal Miller, he did a video in a group that I'm in, and he was sharing the prophetic word for the month of July, and it was about change. And I was like, yeah, I'm here for change. I'm ready for change, me right here, this way. So there was a lot going on with that, and I didn't remember that word until I looked back at the month of July and the emails that went out and what I wrote in my journal and all the things that everybody else said to me. It all started to make sense. And so I'm just minding my business, just doing what I can. I applied for jobs here and there as I saw fit, as I wasn't looking as strongly as I could have, but I was just applying for jobs here and there because I was looking for specific work. I wanted to work for a nonprofit or in the community organization or a government agency because I'm in the public service loan forgiveness program, so I wanted to, be in a qualified working environment. So I got a call from one job, and they wanted to know if they could schedule an interview with me. I'm like, okay, cool. We're having a phone interview on Friday. I get another phone call. It's for another job. I'm like, the same day? What? I think this is like July 17th. So I get another job call, and they wanted to set up a video call with me for an interview for communications and social media manager position. And so I was like, okay, cool. All right, so we set it up for next week. After I did everything for my family, after I followed through on that, and it worked out. So I'm thankful for my family for being so supportive in this season. I got an interview for one of the jobs, and it was the video interview. And it went really well. Had everything, got to get up early, got my receipts together, got my everything, had questions for them. and they enjoyed the conversation. They said that I did a great interview and they'll get back to me. So later on that afternoon, just minding my own business, and around 4 o'clock Chicago time, I get an email with the job offer. And I was like, what? Is this a job offer in the same day? The same day that I got the interview? Insane. This has never happened to me before. And then I remember all the words like my spiritual mama gave about suddenly and God's gonna turn it around and this and that. And I'm like, it's happening right in front of my face. And I was just like partly shocked and partly like, should I be crying right now after everything that I went through? This 7 long months of unemployment. And that very month of July was when the benefits, the unemployment ended. So I had no money, okay? All I had was whatever I had saved up to move. And I was like, Lord, I'm like, oh my gosh. So as soon as I got that letter, I was just like, I was by myself at home. My sister was at work and I was just shooketh. I was like, Lord, okay, I did a praise dance, just me and him. And then I called one of my aunties, my auntie Dominique, and I was letting her know what happened. And she told me to, just pray about the negotiation because I wanted to negotiate my salary. So I took my time on that, did a little research, and looked up how to reply and how to do everything the right way because I wanted to start things the right way this time. And so on Friday, I responded with my counter offer, and they sent me an email about an hour later saying that they will happily accept the counter offer. And I was like, shooketh again, because I was not expecting a quick response, and I definitely was going back and forth with like, okay, I don't know if they're gonna take what I want, but they did. And once again, God showed his faithfulness. And now at the end of my first week at this job, I moved a week after, and now I live in Florida for real, all the way. I can say that again, God is faithful. He's been faithful to me in so many different seasons in my life. He's kept me from a lot of stuff. I don't have the hardest life testimony, you know what I'm saying? And by God's grace, it is so. But I want to share this testimony with you because I think sometimes we get too comfortable in where we've been and what we know and who we know and what we know how to do, that when we get that sense of urgency for change, when God shifts stuff around for us or puts us in the fast track to progress to our next level, we can't ignore those feelings. We have to be honest with him and just plead to him for that change and to give us the strength to persevere to go to that next level. And it's not always going to be all you. It's not all your strength. It's not all your energy. It's not all what you do, but it's what you allow God to do for you. One of my friends, Denise, told me that the more you work, the less God moves. The less you move, the more God works. Meaning, in my interpretation, that you need to take your hands off everything regarding your life and allow God to put his hand in it. Because why? He knows everything. He knows the end from the beginning regarding your life. So why would you try to do all this stuff not knowing what the outcome is and not let him do it? And he knows the outcome. And so after all the rejections, offers, after the rejected emails from other jobs, after the no-show, no calls from other jobs, and the waiting, thinking that I was less than, comparing myself to other people, comparing myself to my sister, comparing myself in my situation to seasons prior, I was like, I really had to go through this so I can stretch my faith and get me to a point where I just do what I need to do and be bold enough to change and do my part in the change. That physical part was moving here. And I even had grace and favor in that move. He made it easy. And I'm thankful for my dad and my uncle for lending their brute strength to moving all my stuff onto a U-Haul, taking it downtown to Amtrak and getting it on the train. And for my mom's friends to help take all my stuff from Fort Lauderdale to the house. And then I set up my room and here we are. So the light is kind of going away from me, but that's pretty much my testimony with this new job. And I thank you all so much for your likes, your comments, your support on social media. I appreciate that, really, I do. And it just goes to show you that there's people who are watching your story and your journey. And as long as you have a journey to go forward, you have a reason to keep going because other people are watching your journey too. So for anyone who needs this inspiration, needs this encouragement, just know that God is for you and He hears your prayers, and the things and the changes that you want to see in your life, they will come to pass. You just have to trust His plan, even when it doesn't make sense, and just keep on believing that regardless of what the timeline looks like, whether you have to wait a month, 3 months, or in my case, 7 months, He will provide for you because He is Jehovah Jireh. So He continues to show that to me. So yeah, I'm wearing one of my shirts. I prayed for days like this because I prayed for a day like this where I could sit before you and share with you my testimony and what I made it through by God's grace alone. And I'm thankful for my friends and my family who really poured into me in this past season, who really shared their love and support for me and my move. They didn't try to hinder me from leaving. They were willing to let me go. And I know what that's like when I have friends who moved away or family who moved away. It's like you just gotta let them do what they gotta do. So I appreciate them for not trying to hold me back, but really letting me do what is necessary for my life, for my journey. And I don't know what's gonna happen next. A lot of people have their theories and their faith wishes and all that, but I'm just like, look, I'm just trying to accomplish the goals that I know I need to accomplish, but I'm also open to God's best, His divine will for my life. Not just His permissive will, which is like whatever, but His divine perfect will, which is still available for me and for everyone else who believes in Him. So whatever it is that you're waiting for, whether it be a job, a spouse, a move, a baby, whatever, keep waiting. Be productive in this season, be faithful in this season, and just watch how God will turn everything around for you. I hope you enjoyed this testimony and you got something from it. If you need to contact me, just feel free to leave something in the comments, or you can email me, and I'll leave that information in the description as well. So I hope you enjoy your journey as I'm enjoying mine. And this season we're calling it #Southside to Self-Love. All right, I'm Tatiana Green. Thank you for watching and enjoy your journey.